How's that? Hello. I'm back. Sorry, guys. We got a little tech business. Let me just open that up just a tad. Well, that's too much. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Ooh, lock that in. Okay, boom, boom. God. No. No, I got that dumb frame there. There. Everybody back for part two. Part two. Part two. Part two. All right. Sorry, everybody. Round two, indeed, Phil Presky. Presky. Thumbs up. Palm strike. Eye. Rich hand. Hick hick. Wax on, wax off. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It was good on my end. All right, so. Back to Jana Kelton thing. Yeah, I definitely think Nina and Tulsi should start a third party. That's what we're going back to the 2020 question. I think that's a great issue. If the Democrats just keep doing what they're doing and jamming their head up their ass, I would. How great would it be if Nina and Tulsi said, "We're starting a third party. We're running as independents. Vote for us," and everybody got behind them. How great would that be? They just said, "We're circumventing. We're not doing your stupid. When you guys are fighting it out in your dumb primary and wasting everybody's time and money, we're just going to be campaigning. We're going to go get your votes." And they went every state. They went to the reddest states. They went to small towns. They went everywhere. Wouldn't that be great? Well, the Democrats and Republicans are like, well, we only got to hit these key states. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, not the Russians. It's more like the CIA. Jana Kelton, they'll automatically get the independents to join, and that's the majority. Absolutely. Yeah, and the People's Party would have open primaries. Right? It'd be so great. They could just go, yeah, we're running. This is what we're doing. We're running. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. You'd vote for them. We'd all vote for them in a heartbeat. Wouldn't that be awesome? It'd be such as, the two parties could suck it, and we'd have great candidates who are actually wanting to help the people. It would transform this country. It'd be one of those things that would be like everyone would talk about, it would be really fantastic. Let me check something here. Boom. Open primaries, ranked choice voting, paper ballots, publicly financed campaigns. These are all the things worth striking over. That's a good point. Yeah, and it's things like we deserve to have. These aren't crazy things we're asking for. Things that a bunch of other industrialized nations have. Plus a bunch of other Western countries have. It's not a crazy thing. I would like to see seats in Congress and state legislatures done by percentage of vote given like in Parliament. Wouldn't that be great? I mean, ranked choice voting is fantastic. I did that article. A couple states have it. I think Maine has it, and look what it did. I mean, again, I've said this before, but I will say it again. Imagine if the last presidential election, you got to go, oh, Jill Stein's my number 1, Gary Johnson's my number 2, Hillary's my 3, and Trump is my 4. Imagine if you got to do that. Imagine. Gary Johnson got a lot of votes. He got way more than Jill Stein. Imagine that. It used to be, too, the person that came in second place would become the vice president, I believe, way like 100-some years ago. That's how it worked. Imagine the top 2, president, vice president. You know? That'd be awesome. President Gary Johnson and Vice President Jill Stein. I would love to see that. Yeah, it's a good idea of what Marcia Smith is talking about, like Parliament. If the Greens get 4% of the vote, they get 4% of the seats. Snork Y2K, I wanted none of the above, start over choice in a vote. Janie Kelton, so does that make the Corp Dems sexist since they only blame Stein, not Johnson? Oh, God, yeah. It shows how their hypocritical identity politics are such bullshit, right? If you didn't vote for Hillary, oh, you must be a sexist. So we're going to blame a female doctor. It's her fault. Even though Gary Johnson took way more votes away from Trump than Jill Stein did from Hillary. And the other thing, too, about independent candidates that many of you have pointed out, there's probably a lot of people that voted for Jill Stein that wouldn't have voted, that were going to sit home. And there's no way of knowing that. This arrogant notion of the Democratic Party that if you voted for Jill Stein, that was our vote. We get that. How dare you? No, you ran a shitty candidate with a shitty campaign. You don't get my vote. You know, a lot of people made fun of Gary Johnson because he didn't know where Aleppo, Syria was. And he goes, yeah, well, if you don't know where a city is, you don't know, you can't bomb it. Yeah, that didn't really make the news. That didn't really make the news. Him talking about, I don't know where a city is because I don't want to bomb it. Yeah, and Susan Sarandon. I love that. You're a sexist if you didn't vote for Hillary, but Susan Sarandon's evil and so is Jill Stein. Right? Sorry, we froze up for a second. Can everyone hear me? God, I'm having some tech issues. This brazen crap that they try to push as normal needs to stop the buck here now. You know? Can you all hear me? Okay. Yeah, Marcia Smith, my vote is to do what with I want. That includes not voting for any of the available candidates because they suck. Yeah. Right, exactly. Oh, Marcia, you must hate women then. Are you a sexist burn bro, Marcia? Is that why they did surgery on your head, to try to eliminate your sexist burn bro chromosome that was in your, that progressive lobe in your brain that they're going to try to remove? Agent Dale Chomsky, the constant coverage of pointless palace intrigue about Trump is only going to make him more popular. Reminds me of the 90s with Clinton. People care about policy, not silly political theater. Oh, yeah, Marcia. Yeah, I know. It's just more distraction bullshit. It's like that article that Chris Hedges did, and I just did a video on it. That article that he did in Truth Dig that they reran saying Trump is a useful idiot. Yeah. And you see the neoliberals, everyone's all longing for the days of Obama. I just like, the Obama that fucking set the Middle East on fire? That Obama? I mean, it's just preposterous. People's Corruption Police. I have video lag. Kung Fuzi, hey, superdelegates are gone. Today is a win. Did they really eliminate superdelegates? I know they were talking about it. They've eliminated them by 30% or some crap like that. Did they really get rid of them? That I'd like to know. They completely got rid of them? I didn't think they did. Did that just happen? Am I missing something? Let me know. Kung Fuzi. It's a great screen name. Andrew Sweet, is this therapeutic for me? Yeah, I do like these super chats a lot because we built a little community here, and you guys bring up a lot of good ideas and you ask a lot of really intelligent questions. Every once in a blue moon there's some jackass on here, but it does give me hope because we're all like wanting to be involved. We're all wanting to be active. We're all exchanging really good ideas. You guys say a lot of really intelligent stuff that I'm like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. And then I get to say it. We all get to learn it. We all get to bring up interesting points. And that's this whole show, the whole reason I did Political Vigilante is to give me hope and to talk to all of you. And then when I go on the road, I met a lot of you in Seattle. I met you guys in Chicago and you know, Atlanta and Nashville and all these cool places, Louisville. You know, I was in Chicago. There was a lot of you that came to see me. I interviewed Mitchell Help. And he said people at the Jimmy Dore show in Chicago recognized him from being on this show. And they're like, oh, you're the guy with the cat. You're the water purification guy. He said 25 people came up to him at the Jimmy Dore show. And that was just fantastic. You know, and that really gives me hope. You know, they're doing this show and these super chats and everything, they really give me hope that we are going to get things done. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be very grassroots. It's going to be very, you know, little victory here, little victory there. But we're going to look back and say, hey, we all got involved, you know, after the election. We all did a lot. So, yeah. To clarify here, superdelegates still exist. Their roles got limited. The DNC still has the rule that every candidate must be registered Dem in good standing with the party. Yeah, I know. All right. The headlines are limits power, not dismantled. They lost control over two parts of the electoral process. Yeah, all right. Well, yeah. I'd love to come to Charleston, West Virginia, man. We might hit that part of the country. Getting back to the superdelegate thing, yeah, what this sounds like to me is it's more just... They're not. If they really were serious, they would just eliminate them. No more superdelegates. But they just keep them in there a little bit. It's lip service. It's lip service. It's what the Democrats do. Lip service. Like Elizabeth Warren, you know, really giving that Wells Fargo executive what for, and then he walks away with $100. The reality is he lied, he scammed people, he cheated people, he committed felonies. He should be in jail, and instead he's on a fucking island somewhere with his $124 million. So fucking get rid of the superdelegates, wipe them the fuck out, or don't give me this fucking bullshit. There's always some bullshit caveat in there. It's like they think we're idiots. Fuck them. Yeah, exactly, Phil. They're paid to lose. They'll have no say in the primary. I don't know, Kong Fuzi. You sound a little too optimistic to me, my friend. C. Blaine, all Dems do is pacifying until midterms. Anything quasi-progressive they do now, they'll be gone after the elections. That's such a great point. I'm just not seeing it, Kong Fuzi. I mean, I appreciate your enthusiasm in bringing this up. But, you know, I just don't buy it. Because they could just get rid of everything and they just put all these little bullshit caveats. Tell me. It's like, we're wrong. This should never. It's never happened again. We're eliminating them. That's what they should say. It's that simple. But they always got to Mickey Mouse all this bullshit, which means I don't believe them. I don't trust them. I don't believe them. So I don't view this as a victory. Sorry. I don't mean to be pessimistic, but that's what they do. Yeah, they do any goalpost moving the DNC can to get their way. That's all they do. Because for 4 decades, they've been giving progressives little table scraps, and we say, thank you, thank you. Oh, we're so fortunate. You guys are the lesser of two evils. Thank you. That's all they do. It's a win. Watch Nina Turner on the story. Okay. All right. Maybe it is. Sorry, I'm just too, I don't trust the Democrats enough to just proclaim this as a victory. We'll see. We'll see if it's a victory and how they run their primary in 2020. C. Blame writes, as long as Tom Perez is in charge, it will be the same old, same old. He overturns everything they try to change. Yeah. Yeah, it's not pessimistic. It's just reality proven over and over. So, yeah, this just seems like, I don't trust this party. Yeah. I think Nina Turner is awesome, but she's still a Democrat like Nomiki. It's a valid point. PCC over DCC any day. That's an excellent point, you guys. That is an excellent point. Matthew Sevilla, any thoughts on a nationwide prisoner hunger strike? I did a video on this. I think it's important that they're doing this. They've done these in the past, and what happens, because the private prison industry gives money to the corporate media, the corporate media doesn't cover it. And this was motivated by, I believe, 7 people died in a riot in South Carolina in April, I think. And there's overcrowding, and, you know, every time a prison riot happens, that's the fault of the prison. You had overcrowding, you had mismanagement by guards, you had something going. Something created that environment. You were letting tensions with the prisoners increase, you weren't diffusing them, you were treating them like animals, whatever. And I know people on the right will say, oh, just let the prisoners have their own jacuzzis and blah, blah. No, but if you just, we're not making society better. The point of prison initially was, first of all, it's a deterrent. You commit this crime, that's where you're going to jail. And then prison was supposed to be about rehabilitating people to get back into society. That's what it was supposed to be about. That's what it used to be about. You go there, maybe you were poor, you were uneducated. You go to prison, you get an education, you paid your debt to society, and you can come out and integrate back into society because you paid your debt, you're now better, you're educated, you've learned to trade. Okay, you get a second chance. Not now. Overcrowding, there's very few rehabilitation programs. Someone born into poverty and violence becomes a criminal. Yes, they're an adult, they're responsible for their actions. If they're violent, if they abuse somebody, they murder somebody, whatever. But just throwing them in prison with other prisoners, they learn more violence, more drug use, and then they're back out in society. That doesn't benefit society. So I think a hunger strike maybe needs to happen. And we really need to, I hope it sheds light on the corruption of the private prison industry, because when you have a private prison industry, you need convicts. I run a private prison, I get paid for every bed that's being used. Well, I need convicts, man. Go round them up. Some black kids are smoking weed, let's put them in jail. I benefit from that. And that's the awfulness of capitalism. If I benefit from, if I get financial gain from something that I want, it's like there's no profit in finding a cure for a disease. It's the same thing, right? So I find cures for diseases, just give people drugs that sort of manage the sickness versus cure it. So I think it's important that they're going, and I think we've talked about this a lot. You know, like Hedges says in Death of the Liberal Class, we're going to need mass strikes. We're going to need nonviolent, we need walkouts. I hope the NFL players, I don't think that's going to happen. It's too late. The season's going to start. But I wish the NFL players would go on strike. Any of the teams where they're like, you get fined if you take a knee, I'd say I'm not playing for you then. Taking a knee during the national anthem is nonviolent protest. That's what Rosa Parks did. Rosa Parks didn't go on buses with guns and shoot bus drivers and cause riots. She was an old librarian. She's an older woman. She was a teacher or something. What was she, like in her 50s or 60s? And she just said no. She quietly sat there. She's about as physically threatening as my grandmother was, or your grandmother. Just sat there quietly and said, no, I'm not moving. That's nonviolent protest. Dr. King was nonviolent protest. The 68 Olympics, the guys who did the flag, that was nonviolent protest. It's the most American thing you can do. Nonviolent protest. So if that's what these prisoners are, if we're going to treat our prisoners just like animals and make them worse, make them more dangerous for society, that doesn't benefit us. So if they need to go on strike, they need to go on strike. Unfortunately, we're about, schools are starting to get back in session. LA Unified is back in school, other school districts. By September, the whole country will be back in school. Guess what? There's going to be another school shooting. I hate saying that. It's awful, but there's been no new gun legislation. No gun reform has happened. There's going to be another school shooting. And when that happens, I think every kid from grades, 6 through 12 should walk. Not have a protest on a Saturday, Monday. Nobody goes to school. Look what the teachers' unions did in all those red states. It's going to take strikes, so I support this hunger strike, man. Stephen Carl, we should get rid of private prisons. We should start by legalizing cannabis. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard is someone that's in favor of decriminalizing marijuana on a federal level. Another reason to support her. I don't smoke weed. That's the other thing. Well, everyone will be on weed. I don't smoke weed. I live in California where it's legal. I could have weed delivered to my home right now, legally. I don't do it. Trying to be fine, believe it or not. Obama was in the process of doing that at the end of his reign. Their stocks took a dive, yeah. Yep, I know. Get rid of private prisons. Oh, our stocks, now what? We're going to lose jobs. Oh, again, why don't we instead of, why don't we have people being able to, fix the planet versus go be professional prisoners? Joshua Pegg, they get paid regardless. I believe you're talking about private prisons. Per their contract, state doesn't want to waste the money and space. They're glad to oblige and help keep them full since they pay either way. Huh. I don't smoke weed, immediately coughs. Well, that's because I've been talking for an hour and a half. I've been talking for an hour and a half straight. Stephen Thomas, put the 1% in jail. You'll smoke my share. Thank you so much. Can buy it on Indian reserves in Ontario. Well, I got to do a show tonight, and my voice is starting to fry. So, sorry. God. Madness. Boy, we're having some tech issues today. Ooh. This button's right by my foot. I need a bigger. This is. I like the new studio, but we need some stuff here. This is gonna go away. Go away. Go away, robot. There we go. That TV is huge. Sydney Samsara, it's okay, Mrs. Porter. I smoke weed for you so you won't feel left out if you're ever at a normal rally. You guys are funny. That was cool. Do it again. Yeah, I look. I went on the road with Doug Benson. I've been to a lot of pro pot things. I'm in favor of legalizing weed, and I don't smoke. I'm completely sober. But guys, it's 4:30. You guys are fantastic. Gargle with 8 ounce warm water and taking babies. Okay. Thank you. Apple cider vinegar is good for sore throats too. So if you are in LA, please go to the Comedy Film Nerds Trailer Park Show tonight, 8 p.m., Saturday, August 25th at Dynasty Typewriter. Links are at grahamelwood.com from all my shows. You guys are fantastic. I just told, yeah, Dynasty Typewriter, which is the Hayward Theater. Go to grahamelwood.com, get links to the show. The show's at 8 o'clock. It's a fun show. It's myself, my co-host Chris Mancini, and then we've got Gareth Reynolds from the Dollop Podcast and Eric Griffin from I'm Dying Up Here, the Showtime show about stand-up comics, and Workaholics. Two very funny comics. We watch movie trailers of upcoming films and a couple classic movies. We get some cool trailers, and we get a lot of bad ones, and we make fun of them, make jokes. It's a great show, so go to grahamelwood.com. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight, and please resubscribe to this, hit the notification button. I've been stuck at 97 subscribers, 9,700 subscribers for months. I want to get over 10,000 subscribers. It's driving me crazy. And also, I got rid of the Amazon affiliate link because I didn't want to support Amazon anymore. So I lost a revenue stream, so I need a little help on Patreon. There's only 178 people on Patreon. There's over 10,000 subscribers, so it's only less than 2% of the viewers are subscribing. So if we could get that number up to more like 5%, it would really make a difference. Even $1 or $2 a month helps. Everything helps. Thank you guys for supporting the show. I love these conversations. I love these discussions. And I love Tulsi Nina 2020. So you guys are great. Gary, thanks for supporting the show. And remember, make Gotham great again.